My colleague Mangoba Nkunu, who's in Alexandra, for us. Mangoba, what's the latest?
Well, no, but I can certainly tell you that those flare-ups that we saw earlier on have now been resolved. In fact, those residents that were out on the streets today have now dispersed into their home. They met some of the leaders, including some of the total shutdown leaders earlier this morning and ward councillors who did give them some sort of indication as to what will happen with that protest. You know that they had vowed that they'll continue with the protest until the mayor, Herman Mashaba, comes to address them. So they've now resolved that they are going to have a public meeting tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And they're saying that they're giving the mayor an ultimatum to come to that public meeting. If that does not happen, they're saying that these protests, the total shutdown that we saw yesterday, is going to continue. And this time around, it's going to again resume all over Alexandra. And what we're seeing this morning are more mop-up operations that are taking place. Of course, the remnants of that protest that we saw yesterday are still here. They're still visible here on the streets. Behind me, you can still see some rubble on the street, as well as some of the debris that was placed by the protesting residents when that protest was underway yesterday. And of course, some of the JMPD officers this morning also involved in the cleanup operations that are taking place here, as well as some of the community members themselves also trying to clean up the roads so that traffic will be able to move, so that transport as well as buses will be able to move. But businesses are operating in the area, and as well as some schools have been open. Schooling was only disrupted this morning in Unit 10, where we saw that protest earlier on over issues of housing. But to get a better sense of the issue on the ground, I'm now joined by Kay Makubela, who speaks on behalf of the provincial police here in Gauteng. Babu Kay, let's start with the situation on the ground. According to your information and according to what you know, what is the situation now?
Well, the situation at the moment is calm, as the police have been deployed all over Alexandra, and we have been patrolling and monitoring the area. So far, we managed to arrest 11 suspects since yesterday. These suspects are going to be charged with public violence, and we are still calling for the community members. They are allowed to protest, but they must not vandalize and steal other people's property, because as the police, we won't tolerate that.
Okay, let's speak about the flare-ups that you saw earlier on. Have there been any arrests or in terms of those flare-ups that you saw earlier today?
Today there was no arrest. The arrest we made, it was yesterday late at night. But at the moment, as the people are busy, some going back to the street, we are engaging with them, and then we get the sense that they will be waiting for tomorrow. And we believe that as the streets are being cleaned, there will be motorists who are moving without disturbance.
Let's speak about the issue of police visibility. Of course, that's one of the concerns that have been raised today. We haven't seen quite a lot of police here on the ground today. What's happening with regards to the police deployment and beefing up of security in this area? As we've seen, there have been more flare-ups of this protest.
You might be in another corner, but as much as we know, since yesterday, the number of the police who are deployed here are huge. And the number of cars who are deployed here, including the Metro Police. So we've got enough manpower which can maintain law and order in this area. And we believe that as the police moving all over the streets, that is what made this peace in Alexandra.
Okay, Babke, and then finally, let's just speak to the issue of, more threats. Some community members even threatening to go and remove foreign nationals from RDP homes, which they claim they've been allocated, without following proper procedures and so forth. Are you aware of any threats like that, or any information saying that people might go and remove foreign nationals?
We are not aware of any threats, but we want to warn those people who are threatening other people that if you feel that there are people who are doing wrong things, you better follow the right procedure. But don't ever go out there and try to attack people, because by doing so, that will be a criminal activities, and police will act very much quick to make sure that those people who are doing that, they are arrested. And we are on the ground, our intelligence are on the ground, and we will make sure that those people who are terrorizing other people, they are behind bars.
Okay, thank you very much, Kema Kubera. They speaks on behalf of the provincial police here in Gauteng. But let me move now to Wayne Minard, who's from the JMPD, just to get an update on the traffic situation here in Alex. Wayne, thank you for joining me. What's happening on the ground with regards to the movement of cars and vehicles here on the street? You saw yesterday many of the roads barricaded. What is the sense now?
Yeah, well, look, as we can see, the main roads, like Vincent Chabalala, still has got a lot of debris, burnt out tires, rocks, and a lot of dirt on the road, which is making it difficult for traffic to flow smoothly. But we've got the officers and the assistance from the other entities trying to clear the roads as best as possible. But our officers themselves have now donned gloves and have got shovels and rakes and clearing the rubble so that we can have the roads then open for this peak traffic this afternoon. That is what we're focusing on now, so that the roads can be cleared by this afternoon's peak traffic. And then we will have to focus on getting ourselves ready now for tomorrow, particularly where the big meeting is happening.
Okay, let's hold it there, Wayne. Just an update there on the traffic situation here in Alexandra. Of course, officials saying that the situation is calm and saying that all the routes have been reopened. And of course, all eyes now are on that meeting that is expected to take place tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Whether the mayor is going to show up or not remains to be seen at this point. But these residents are saying that they are going to continue. In fact, they're saying that they're going to intensify their protest come tomorrow if the mayor doesn't come to address them.
Thanks very much for that report, Mangoba. The Free